Hey, Christine with teachingnaturally.net. I've been creating several videos on the schoolhouseteachers.com curriculum site just to let you see the vast, great resources that are available on this site for members. And again, membership is it's less than $1 per day for your entire family. That also comes with free merchandise also and a free quarterly subscription to the print magazine. So really amazing deals here. Okay. So what we're going to do is I want you to just look with me at a couple courses. I just wanted to show you how would you use these courses. Okay. So I've heard some people talk about Google Classroom. I personally am not 100% familiar with that, but I did play around with it just for a little bit, and it really wasn't bad. So you would create like a class, and then it gives you can create assignments. It's like you're the teacher, so you would create assignments. Your child would need a Gmail account so that they'll have an email address, and you would invite them to join the class, and then they'll see what assignments you put on, things like that. You can give them links, different things of that nature if you have something specific you want them to do. The other way is to see what's already built in within Schoolhouse Teachers to see what you would like to do. So this looks really interesting. Fashion. So we'll go back to this. I'll go to this so you can see it. Fashion in history. That's really cool. Fashions in history. Okay. So this gives us your overview page. It gives you some ideas here. It gives you the core. Every course you're going to see course information, your outline, different things like that when you choose individual courses. Now, when you go into there and you go to the lessons, okay, this is your lesson page. The previous page I just showed you was, see, all here was just your sample, additional details. Um, just give you some other little links there to help you there. Okay. This is straight. This is your lesson plan. This is your lessons. So I'm going to go, I'll click on the lessons. Okay. So these are your lesson plan is within your lessons anyway. So you'll just to give you an idea there. So let's say I've got a late middle schooler. So we're going to click on this to see this is your lesson plan. Okay. So what you would want to do is you could download this, okay? And what you can do is you could download this straight to your computer. Notice this is for Windows. I'm familiar with Windows, not with Macs. So it would click here, and then you could make yourself on your desktop or the child. You can go in there. The reason why the Google Classroom is nice is because they can access it from different computers if they have different computers. Otherwise, you could do your desktop, create your new folder, and then you're going to I'll just put, okay. All right. And then what I would do is I would save this. Okay. I'm going to save this history and fashions lesson plan. So I have this too. So you would want this, your child would want this. Then as they complete it, they're just going to mark this off. And you could do a couple weeks at a time if you wanted. You can double up. And so there you go. So this will be how you can track their thing. You can also print it. Okay. So just your general print, they have it. This might be a good idea. You could have this in a binder, print your lesson plans and put those in a binder. And then as they need their quizzes, I would recommend using a notebook, and then they just write their answers on the paper so you don't have to print everything off. And then when you get to, if you want to keep your portfolio, you could print every so many quizzes or every so many worksheets, and you would print those and print them, let the child complete them, and then you put them immediately in a folder. That's how I do, or an accordion folder, so you'll have them separated. So you'll do that, and then as they do it, you can score that. Some courses will give you the answers right there within the lesson. Others will have a separate sheet, like for this one, parent teacher information. Let's see, get that up. I believe I saw this has the right here. See, these are going to have your answers. This is in a separate set, which that's nice. Okay. And you would have the answers. And so you would have this document, and you could score your students' work each day, or however you would work that out. Okay. So that's a way to use that. Now, this feature is how can you have to go in and find all these every single time? No, what you would do is when you go into your lessons for each course, you would click on you look over here at this bookmark. You're going to click create a new collection, and we would just put same thing as I did the over there on my desktop. You can keep it private because you don't want that to be everywhere. It'd be just within your membership. You'll see that. Then we add the new collection. Okay, and so then you want this is for that child. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, I can drop down. The default is just one general pool of things you bookmarked. I've got this huge thing of just different classes that I've seen. As I see them, I say, hey, that might be good, and I click and I put that in my default collection for later. But if I'm pulling out courses for a specific person, or I'm going to drop down the menu on exactly who I want and add to collection. And then it says, thanks for bookmarking this content. So you do that. You would want to do that for every course. And then what you would do is your student will log in, and then they will go to their bookmarks and they'll be able to find their classes. Okay. So where would they find that? Well, they're going to go to their member dashboard, which is something I want to cover in depth as well. But this is just on how to use it, how to make it work for you. Okay. So then your member dashboard, bookmarks. Okay. And I've got default. Like I said, I've got 13 in here. These are just ideas, things that I really thought looked interesting. Then I've got Becca's classes. And there you go. So there's her. So she would go here and she would just click on that. And it would take her to her course. And there she would be. Okay. So how would you keep track of where you're at or anything like that? Well, if you have already downloaded this, you wouldn't have to do that. All you would need is your lesson plan, and you already have this. So see, notice if I go to lesson 1, 18th century, okay, this is the full PDF. Now, do I want to print this entire thing? Would I necessarily need to do that? No, because she can just read this right off my computer, as well as because see, they've got the links. If they have a link they want you to go to, this is more of the bibliography down here and citing the resources or the sources. But if there's a link here, you'd want to keep this online so you can see it. So this is your text book. Okay. And so they would read this, whether from their tablet or on their laptop or computer, whatever. And then here you go. So notice, and again, older children are going to be able to do this independently. Primarily, they're going to be independent. So this is giving them a foundation for high school as well as higher education to learn to work, to learn or to practice learning independently, because that's important in life, isn't it? So therefore, you would just go here as you see these. This is page 12 and 13. You could just quickly go here to print. I click on my printer and I tell it more setting. If right here, I want custom, and it would be, what was that, 12 and 13. And I would just put that all in. Okay, I didn't have my nums lock here. Nums locked. 12 to 13. There it is. And then I click print. And I didn't tick the check mark for print both sides, but I would do that. And then now it's printing. So very simple. So you don't have to print the entire lesson. You would just print as needed. So then you've got this. Now, if you don't want all of those, here's what did we learn today. We've got another one. So if you don't need all of those, then don't print them all. Just have them write the answers in their work in a notebook. And you'd keep a note, like a 5-subject notebook or something, and you'd have those answers. That saves cost of paper, save the trees, right? Also saves time. And then as you need things for your portfolio or to show what you've done, there you can print things as needed. Then you don't have to print the entire thing. Okay, so I hope that gives you an idea. This like timeline and map, that would be fun. Okay, and that would be a neat thing to do there. So what should we do? I think that would be an idea, definitely, because you read it, use it online on the screen, and only print as needed, because that will save a lot of time. It will save money in printing, and it will kind of streamline. And again, this would be for older students. Now, I feel probably for your younger students, you're going to want to print as much as possible because they really can't navigate as easily, on their own. So, and they're going to need help. You're going to need to explain things to them. So I would print as many things as I could, and then you would kind of direct the learning. You show them the videos, you show them the lessons and things like that, because that comes with the program before children can read. So I believe that probably anywhere from third, fourth, fifth, that would be kind of learning to navigate. And then they can go after that. Middle school, definitely on, they should be pretty much independent, because it is, like I said, after you've gone through and you have bookmarked your stuff. So that gives you an idea. And again, there's answers. And it's a great thing even if sometimes in the the student lesson plan, sometimes the answers are there. Okay, now how would you do that if you don't want your student to have access to those answers? Well, here's an idea. What you could do is you could take, let's say we're going to do this one, okay? Say this was all, some of them are at the end. I can't think of a specific one right now that has that, but a lot of times the answers will be the last couple pages of your PDF for that lesson. So you don't want them to have that, okay? So what you could do is you could click here. Let's say, okay, this has 106 pages, okay? And again, you wouldn't necessarily want to print that anyway. Okay, this is the teacher parent thing. So this is your resource, okay? So let me go back to this one. So this is 61 pages. So let's say to page 50. After page 50, there's 11 pages of, let's say there is 11 pages of answers, okay? And so you don't want those, you don't want your child to have this. So what could you do? Well, you could go to print, okay? Go to your printer, pages. You want custom, okay? And you're going to give your student 1 through 49, okay? And then you can, how do we print this? I'm not going to do it on my printer. You would save as PDF, okay? And then you click save. I would take this there. It's already automatically going to take me to the Becca's Courses Fashions and History Lesson 1. There. Now, I have only saved the student part. There was no, we're making that up. Of course, pages 50 through 61 were the answers. I don't want them to have that because I want them to make sure that, there's no dishonesty going on. And so therefore they don't have to have any temptation. I've taken that away. And then you're going to link them when they come into their, on the computer, they'll go to their screen, they'll go to the desktop, they'll go to Becca's. They will go to Becca's courses, and she'll click that, and she would take that right on the desktop, and it would only have what she needs. And still, if you're online, you'll be able to click on those links, and that will take you where you need to go. Okay, so that gives you an idea there. So I hope that made sense. But this, like on this one has a parent-teacher resource here, and that gives you the answers. So that's pretty nice. And so you wouldn't have to worry about that. But then again, think about this. We are teaching our children, if we're wanting to teach them honesty, and I know every parent does, you can leave those answers there. And then you're going to trust them to say, hey, mom, I need to score my work. I finished lesson 1. And they have accountability there. And they know that you're involved, and they know that you're watching what they're doing. And number one, of course, God's watching what they're doing. So he's going to be, seeing what they did. And so you give them that sense of responsibility and a sense of honesty. Okay, so that's another option. So it's not imperative that they don't have the answers, but yet at the same time, you know your child and you know what you feel that they're ready for. So that gives you freedom to do that. So I hope that helped understand that. Why you can just simply save part of the PDF, give that to them that you want them to have for their lessons, and then you go to the rest, okay? And then, of course, with that in mind, like this course did not have any outside links generally except for the sources. So you could easily use this offline. So that's even great too. You wouldn't necessarily have to have your child online all of the time. So that's a good thing as well. If you're concerned about children being online, which is definitely something to be concerned for, then what you would want to do is have them work on offline as much as possible. Choose courses that are such, or when it's time to be online, like they do everything offline they can, then they say, hey, I need to, or dad, I need to check this video out, go to this link, things like that. So you're not giving them completely free reign there online on the internet without supervision, you sitting there literally right at their side, but yet you know exactly what they're doing. So accountability is good, and it's teaching them for adulthood, for their life, because there's going to be temptations all around, but them knowing the presence of God and that God is watching them, that gives them that sense of responsibility to be honest before God. Okay, so I hope that gives you an idea. I hope that helps. And again, if you go to schoolhouseteachers.com, my link's below. My affiliate link is below. And you can just click on view plans, give you the options of, remember, less than $1 per day, that you can access these wonderful courses for your children and your entire family to receive a great quality Christian education. Okay, so happy learning. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments. Great. We'll talk to you soon.